My boring trading strategy makes me over $82,000 in the month of July. Today, I'm going to show you the one strategy that makes me over $5,000 per hour. The one strategy that I call the rocket strategy. I'm going to show you how I choose my setup, my execution, and my entire risk management system. If you want to watch me trade live every day with this system, and you really want to understand it at a deeper level, you can book a call with the link below and see if you qualify. Anyways, as I said earlier, this strategy is so simple that it allowed me to go from $10,000 to over $500,000 in a little over 2 years of trading. Now, most people think trading is very technical, and the hard reality of it is it's not technical. You look for high quality setup, predetermined risk management system, and a place to exit your trades. Once you have those things in place, you can rinse, wash, and repeat, and do this every single day. From 1 or 2 hours a day, you can make over $80,000+ in a month, maybe even more depending on the size of your account. Now, with all that being said, I am going to show you the charts on how I took a trade that yielded me over $5,000. Now, I'm going to show you how I find my key levels to establish support and resistance and to take trades when it closes firmly above resistance or firmly below support. This will let me show you exactly how I took a trade on Thursday that yielded me over $5,000 in profit. So I trade from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Time every afternoon, Monday through Thursday. And then I also trade the morning session from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time as well. The first thing I'm going to do is mark my resistance line. And you can see here we have 1, 2, and 3 touches from 11 o'clock to 11:15. Here we have this same time at 1:10 and also at 1:15. Then we start our 2 o'clock session and prices not clearly came up to it. So there's no, at this point, I do not see a lower level of resistance that we could use without expecting a reaction to this here that has formed. Now we're going to modify this to current price action as time progresses. Now this level is very, very clear for a resistance line at 635.86. Now let's establish our support. Support to me becomes very, very clear when you look back at the chart here, and you'll see this candle here closes above at 11 o'clock, above the 635.64. But this candle at 11:05 comes back down and tests it to literally the penny, goes below it with this wick, and comes back and closes identically on it. At this point, this is now a support line. This candle here at 11:10, it goes above this line, and this candle comes to the penny and tests that, forming support. Now this red candle comes down, closes below it, very clearly at 11:15, and now the green candle, which is most important in my opinion, the 11:20 candle, the 11:25 candle, and now the 11:50 candle, and now the 11:55 candle, all come back up and test this as a resistance line. So this is a very clear level of where it was resistance at one point in the morning and then became, it was support at one point during the morning and then it became down and formed a very, very clear level of resistance. So this is where it was resistance, becomes support, and now it is 100% resistance again. We see this candle here above at 13:10, closes above it, but never passes here, reestablishing on this red candle that is still a valid line now to become support again. Now, this is where the picture gets really clear. At 14:05, candle comes down all the way below it to 635.56, but closes above it at 635.68. So right here, this line has now, you can see, has started to form this wick here on it. You can clearly see how this candle here has above it and then has retested this level as our support. So now this candle goes above it, testing resistance. The candle here at 14:15 tests resistance. The candle at 14:20 confirms more resistance, also conforming the upper level of support at 635.64. And now I had considered moving our support line up a little bit here at 635.67. However, the reason why I did not is because the candle at 14:05 and the candle at 14:20 has came down and rejected that level and closed above it. So now current price action comes down on the 14:35 candle, tests it to the penny, goes below it slightly and closes above it, confirming this level right here. As you guys can see where my crosshairs are, this level right here very, very clearly defined on the 1430 candle. That is 100% our support line. So now, what we are clearly looking for is a firm 5-minute candle close below this level of 635.64. And with that, the rocket strategy will take it into new lows or into enough selling pressure to get off 10% of our positions or more and exit a trade with hopefully plus 15% of our trade. However, that I'll get to next. So here, our price action at 1435 firmly closes below. I buy into this at $1.68 on my contract. I'm sorry, at $1.60 on my contract, and it slowly comes back up and retests, but nothing huge on that retest. We're a little bit negative at this point on the trade, and then this trade comes down, reacts off that aftermarket high, and I sell half of our positions at $1.68, now having a risk-free trade, and I immediately move my stop loss to break even. So now we're profitable on the trade. And at this point, this candle here closes very firmly down. Still lots of selling pressure involved in the market, as you guys can see right here in this candle that is floating here. This candle here tells the real story at 1440 that SPY is ready to continue trading down. And on this candle here, SPY immediately flushes down. I sell off a next quarter of our position at $1.90, and this trade continues to go down. It reacts very harshly off a pre-market high, comes back above it, comes back below it, comes back above it. I move the rest of our positions from the stop loss being at break even. I take that stop loss to $1.90 where I sold that last quarter of positions. And then SPY flushed down to $2.05, and it flushed really quickly. And then I moved our stop to $1.95, and I was trying to get it into the $2 range, but then it rejected harshly, came back above, and closed above pre-market high, continuing that SPY now is undecided if it wants to continue down or continue back up. At this point, we had a full trade that yielded over $5,000 in profit and added to my month to equal over $80,000 so far for the month of July. Now here, I'm going to put a line on the chart so you guys can see clearly where the selling pressure was. This line that goes from here to here at the 1435 candle, that is our firm 5-minute candle close that gives us our room for our entry. Then, as you guys can see, this candle closes but reacts harshly to the aftermarket high at 635. The 635.39 SPY is literally reacting to an aftermarket key level that SPY may not be ready to continue down. However, we're already risk-free on this trade. We had plenty of room to get out of our position. So at this point, SPY now is ready to continue down. As you guys can see here, this blue line that is on my chart, SPY goes down. It takes out the pre-market high with a huge liquidity sweep, and we rode that thing the whole way down. What a textbook classic A+ setup for the rocket strategy. Now, if you guys are interested in following these trades along, we trade Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. every single day that the market is open, and we trade Monday through Thursday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. So if this strategy is interesting to you and you like this strategy, feel free to click the link below and book a call to see if you qualify to sign up for this.